What's going on, guys? It's your girl Angie Snatch coming at you with another episode of An Unbiased Truth. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to the Snatch Gang and welcome to all my new subscribers. Let's start the new year off with an exclusive breaking news from Snatch Investigations. Young Pharaoh is back in court again. This time, it is a civil case he's facing. Before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to my girl Brown Beauty for sending me this tip. I think your new name is Brown Beauty Snatch because you definitely outdid yourself with this one. So, yes, you heard me right. Young Pharaoh is facing a civil lawsuit for $41,669. The lawsuit is actually filed against Young Pharaoh, Pharaoh Otten University, Marshall Daniels, and Otten University. I think that it's important that you understand that because Young Pharaoh has many businesses that he has registered in the state of Texas. I gathered these so you guys can get an idea of just how many, but these aren't even all the businesses that he has registered. I want to be specific, registered in Texas. So Otten Youth Homes, Otten Debate League, Otten Collect Calls, Otten Gaming, Otten Anime, Otten Library, Otten Banking, Otten Intelligence Community, Otten Estates, Otten Courts, Universal Nation of Otten, Otten Pole and Fitness, Pharaoh Cuts, Otten Rescue Agency, Otten Awards, and Otten Holistic Center. But this specific case is against Pharaoh Otten University. So let's get into it. Like I said, the case is filed in Nassau County, New York by a company, MEGED Funding Group Corp. Now, what I'm going to call them Meged. Yeah, let's just do that so it'll be easier for me. What they are a merchant cash advance company. So a merchant cash advance, mm, to lay it out in a simple way, it's like a business loan, but it's not like a business loan because it doesn't have this monthly set where you pay monthly on a business loan, a fixed rate. Usually you pay out of your sales and you're able to get that money quicker that way, but they take the money from each of your sales on a daily basis, whatever day rate you guys work out together. So Meged Funding Group is saying that they fronted young Pharaoh Otten University with this money. I want to read the complaint and then I think you'd understand a little bit more why young Pharaoh has leaned more into using Otten banking and even try a thought experiment. Google Otten University, hit that link, it's going to keep on kicking you back because you'll see in a second. So let's get into it. Plaintiff Megid Funding Group Corp., hereinafter referred to as the plaintiff by its attorneys Yana Chechetnitsky, Esquire, for its complaint herein against Pharaoh Otten University, LLC, DBA Pharaoh Otten University, hereinafter referred to as the business defendant, and Marshall Jeannie Daniels, hereinafter referred to as the individual defendant. Now, this case was filed, like I said, November 4th. Herein collectively referred to as the defendants as allege as follows. The parties. At all relevant times, plaintiff Megid was and is a limited liability company organized and existing under the laws of the state of New York. Upon information and belief, and at all relevant times, business defendant was and is a company organized and existing under the laws of the state of Texas and is subject to the personal jurisdiction of this court, the New York Nassau County Court is what they're talking about here. This court, pursuant to the agreement between the parties. Upon information and belief, at all relevant times herein, the individual defendant was and is an individual residing in the state of Texas and is subject to the personal jurisdiction of this court pursuant to the agreement between the parties. Venue is proper in the state of New York pursuant to CPLR 501 pursuant to the agreement between the parties. Now, these are the facts. Keep in mind that young Pharaoh, let me just sidebar really quick, plug. Check out my episode 34 and 36 for Young Pharaoh's case against YouTube. That is only for those specific videos that he alleged that YouTube deleted. Now, remember, it was about April, May of this year that his actual channel was deleted. Now, after his channel was deleted, this move, according to these documents, is the next move that he made in June of this year. So the facts, according to the plaintiff, on or about June 22nd, 2021, plaintiff and business defendant entered into a purchase and sale of future receivables agreement, hereinafter referred to as the agreement, whereby plaintiff agreed to purchase all rights to business defendants future account receivables having a face value of $67,455 with an agreed upon purchase price of $45,000. A copy of the agreement is annexed hereto as Exhibit A. We'll get into that in the next video. So let me explain this part really quickly. So what they're saying is the face value that they felt like in sales per whatever term of this agreement was is $67,455. So that's what your principals, everything added in. When you see they say with an agreed upon purchase price of 45,000, that's how much they actually gave to young Pharaoh. They gave him 45,000. What he would have to repay is $67,455. And why some people go for these merchant cash advancement type of deals instead of a business loan is if you have poor business credit and the owner has poor credit, a lot of times it's hard to find a lender. So these are high risk lenders, and you have to decide for yourself whether that will work out, them taking a percentage out. Clearly this didn't work out in his favor. Pursuant to the aforesaid agreement, business defendant agreed to have one bank account approved by plaintiff, hereinafter referred to as the bank account, from which business defendant authorized plaintiff to debit 25% of its daily revenue until the purchase amount of receivables $67,455 was paid in full. Okay, so there you have their agreement. And his agreement was that we give you this $45,000, but you authorize us an agreed upon bank account that we will every day get 25% of everything that comes into that bank account per our terms until we get back $67,455. In addition, individual defendant agreed to guarantee any and all amounts owed to plaintiff from business defendant upon a breach in performance by business defendant. Plaintiff remitted the purchase price for the future receivables to business defendant as was agreed upon, and therefore fully complied with its obligation and duties under the agreement. So basically what they're saying is we took our 25% and we never took any more. That young Pharaoh also told us in addition that if his performance, meaning his daily sales, weren't good, that he could also guarantee that he would cover those amounts for those slow times. Initially, business defendant met its obligations under the agreement. On or about July 20, 2021, business defendant stopped making its payments to plaintiff. I'm sorry if you guys hear the rain in the back. It's raining I love it though. Payments to plaintiff and otherwise breach the agreement by intentionally impeding and preventing plaintiff from making the agreed upon ACH withdrawals from the bank account while conducting regular business operations and still in receipt of accounts receivable. This constitutes a default under the agreement. Hmm. So they make the agreement on June 22nd. On July 20th, he defaults. And when they say intentionally impeding and preventing plaintiff from making the agreed upon ACH withdrawals, how do you do that, guys? You make a stop payment or you block a merchant from being able to by calling your bank saying, I want to make a stop payment, I want to block this merchant, I do not agree to these charges, and then every time it would get blocked. But they're saying he still was receiving money through that account, so he didn't close the account, he just blocked them from being able to withdraw from the account. So number 11, business defendant made payments totaling $28,481. Let's give him credit. He did pay $28,481 in that month, but then leaving a balance of $38,974. Additionally, pursuant to the agreement, business defendant incurred a default fee in the amount of $2,500 and a UCC filing fee in the amount of $195 to cover the cost of filing UCC 1 financing statement in connection with the agreement. That's how I came up with the $41,669 in total. Pursuant to the agreement, the aforesaid fees have to be applied to business defendant's outstanding balance in the event business defendant altered or stopped depositing receivables into the bank account. Please refer to Exhibit A, page 2. Oh. The combined sum of the balance due to plaintiff and fees provide for a total balance of $41,669 due and owing to the plaintiff. Despite due demand, business defendant has failed to pay the amounts due and owing by business defendant to plaintiff under the agreement. Additionally, individual defendant is responsible for all amounts incurred as a result of any default by a business defendant. There remains a balance due and owing to plaintiff on the agreement in the amount of $41,669 plus the interest, costs, and disbursements. So this is what they're saying is the cause of action. I don't want to cover it in here because I think that we can use the other cases that he had going on, and the timeline intertwines very much. And I wanted to bring this to you guys and then come back once I have a little more in depth and I am able to put it all together. I'm trying to get through being under the weather. Now, young Pharaoh is very, very, very much aware of this account. Of this case. This is the affirmation of service saying that on November 5th, he had been served with this case at his address. So he is very much aware of this case, and that is why now you have more in banking than you hear in University, because every dime that comes through in University is supposed to go to the company Megid Funding Corp until they recoup all of the money that they fronted young Pharaoh in June of this year. I found it so funny that some of these people have so much support from people like you and I that send them money. Here he had 100,000 plus last year. Then you're able to get a merchant cash advance this year, and you're still going default a month later. Maybe their problem isn't big ideas because he seems to have big ideas. Their problem is money management because if you can't hold on to your money, if you can't flip your money and you're basically doing the equivalent of a payday loan. That's what that is. That is the equivalent of a payday loan for businesses. It's one of the worst interest rates ever. Your APR pretty much is in the triple digits. However, you have not built or established credit for your business or in your personal life that a lender would trust you. Don't get me wrong, we can get into a whole conversation about race and zip code and how that affects us. Yes, that is very true. However, sometimes, just sometimes, it is a reflection of your character that shows on your credit report and other things that stifle you from getting approved in certain things. And even when you attain as much wealth and notoriety as some of these people have, they still have low vibrational tactics on how they get forward. Like you literally did the equivalent of a payday loan. Like, and a month later now you have another lawsuit while filing appeal to YouTube, while dealing with a child support case. But we won't even go too far into that because AC Haru and Golden Beauty had to have known about this as well because they are listed in these exhibits as his emergency contacts as well. So we won't even get into that. Let me at least get a day worth of tea in my system. But I'm excited to be back. Happy, happy, happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Young Pharaoh back in court again. $41,669 in a civil suit for not paying back his cash advance loan. All right.